Hey PLL fandom. So, how are you guys feeling after that finale? I'm more confused than I've ever been. So, instead of doing a recap, because, I could take time to recap the episode, but you would not be watching this video if you haven't seen it. I have so many things I want to mention, so I'm just going to basically just do a discussion. I'm just going to bring up some points, and you guys can tell me what you think, because honestly, I'm really confused, and I'm kind of mad. Actually, no, I'm really mad, because now I'm not sure if any of my theories stand a chance after that, and I don't know. I guess I was expecting more, because, Marlene's making it seem like, oh, it's so obvious that who A is, but she kind of told us things, but, didn't tell us. Because, there's a clear way, there's a clear conclusion you can jump to. But there's no way for us to know if that conclusion we're jumping to is right. Does that make sense? First of all, do we really believe that Charles is A? Yes, Marlene is saying, she's saying, yes, Charles is A, for real, I mean he is. I love Marlene, but she lies all the time. And I take everything she says with a grain of salt. She also said that Toby was truly evil, for sure, and that Ezra was A, for sure. And guess what? Neither of those things were true. So, her saying Charles is A, for sure, obviously, I'm not gonna 100% believe her. She's lied about this so many times before, I don't believe some of the things that come out of her mouth. I don't think everything she says is a lie, but I think sometimes she kind of lies to mislead us. And sometimes I think she probably just sits home, looks at her computer, and laughs oh, look what I got all of them to do. I don't know, is that mean? Sometimes I just wonder if she's, at home, laughing at us right now. Haha, I got them good. So, yeah, there's still a possibility that Charles may not be A, but again, Marlene is saying that the storyline, midway through season 6, is going to be the end of the A storyline. The girls are going to go to college, there's going to be a time jump after 6A, and when we see them again in 6B, they'll be out of college. So, I feel like if we're not there yet, we're almost there, because we don't have that much time left before they're moving on from the A storyline, and we're going to see these girls after college. So, she's saying that before the end of 6A, we're going to know who A is, why, we're going to know everything. We're going to know what happened to Bethany, we're going to know what happened to Sarah, we're going to know everything. But she said every question we've ever had, even back from season 1, she said we're going to know the answer. Well, it better just be answer after answer after answer, because there are so many questions. Maybe during the hiatus, I'll go back and rewatch the entire series and write down every question I have. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. My free time, I could. Alright, so let's talk about that video. You guys remember, there are 2 little boys, both blonde with blue eyes. They're with Jessica De Laurentiis at Campbell Farms. And she has a little baby girl and tells the boys, come kiss your sister. And so, the obvious conclusion is that Jason has a twin. That's the conclusion that everybody is jumping to. Jason has a twin, his name is Charles, and he's A. That's what everyone is assuming right now. Now, let's do some basic math. Jason is 24. Allison is about 17. If that baby Jessica's holding is Allison, Jason and his twin would have to be 7 in that video. And I do not think those boys looked like they were 7. I'm 16. I don't have a child, obviously. I'm an only child myself. I don't have, little siblings. I don't hang around kids. But to me, that kid did not look like he was 7. He looked maybe more like 5. Maybe even younger. I was wondering if it was Toby. He's 2 or 3 years older than Allison, so I was looking at pictures of 2-year-old boys, and they kind of looked like they were 2 to me. So, I think they could be anywhere from, 2 to 5, maybe 6, but I do not think they're 7. To me, they didn't look 7. I don't know about you guys. Like I said, I don't spend time around kids, but to me, they did not look like they were 7. So, like I was saying, maybe one of those boys is Toby. I don't know. He's only 2 to 3 years older than Allison, But the video was saying, come kiss your sister, and Allison's not his sister. I mean, I don't know, maybe she is. That would be really twisted. The baby could be Bethany, and Jason's only 4 or 5 years older than she is. And so I think that would fit the age range. That boy could easily be 4 or 5. And another thing, we do not know for sure that those kids in that video are Jessica's. Like, she never refers to herself as their mother, refers to them as her sons or her daughter. Theoretically, none of those kids could be hers. They could be her nieces, her niece or her nephews. They could be a friend's children. I mean, I was thinking that Jessica and Marion were sisters. So maybe they're Marion's kids. Like, maybe they're a mix. Maybe some of them are her kids, some of them aren't. Like, we're making an assumption those are her kids, but they don't have to be. She never calls herself their mother. So she does not have to be those kids' mother. She could theoretically be their aunt, just an important figure in their life. She could have no biological relationship with them at all. We don't really know. We're just jumping to that conclusion. And I don't know if necessarily both boys have to be related to the girl. Because when I watched it the second time, to me, it looked like Mrs. D was only addressing one of them. When she said, do you want to, like, kiss your sister, or whatever it is she says, you know, something like that. So maybe only one of them is the baby girl's brother, and the other one isn't. I don't remember if she says that to the taller one or the shorter one. I think someone said she says it to the shorter one, but I'm not really sure. I didn't watch it a third time. I watched it twice. Probably watch it again after this, just to analyze it some more. So theoretically, like, maybe one of them is related to the baby girl, and the other one isn't her sibling. And you know, just because one's taller doesn't mean necessarily they're older, I guess. Again, it's kind of a conclusion. Like, I just assumed the taller one was older, but maybe not. And, okay. Let's just discuss some theories that I saw in the theories tag today. There's a couple theories that I saw that they're just kind of bothering me, because when you think about them logically, they don't make sense. Alright, now, lots of people are saying, oh, Ren could be Jason's twin brother. Look, Ren and Jason are not going to be twins. Do I think Ren is sketchy? Yes, totally. He probably does have some kind of involvement to some degree. If he's not A, maybe he was helping A at one point, or A, like, blackmailed him. I think Ren's involved somehow, probably. But he's not going to be Jason's twin for one obvious reason. Ren was engaged to Melissa, and he dated Spencer, or, like, fooled around with Spencer, or whatever. He was involved with her. If Ren was twins with Jason, that would make Mr. Hastings his father, too. And I do not think ABC Family is going to do incest storylines. They're not that kind of family, if you know what I mean. So no, Ren and Jason are not brothers. At least not twins. I mean, well, they're the same age, so if they were brothers, they'd have to be twins, because they're both 24. So no, it's not Ren, because then he would have been messing around with his sisters, and that's just not okay. Like, that's messed up. They're not doing that. Well, I mean, I know they mentioned in a flashback that, like, Jason and Melissa kissed once, but that was one kiss that happened off screen. Like, Ren and Melissa were engaged. That implies a lot of intimacy. So there's no way they're doing that. Like, that would just be way too incestuous. Again, Andrew cannot be Jason's twin. He's too young. Andrew is 17, 18 at most. Jason's 24. They can't be twins. Hypothetically, they could be brothers, but not twins, because Andrew is just not old enough. However, it seems that Andrew does have some kind of connection, because the farm that is mentioned is called Campbell Farm, and that's Andrew's last name. So apparently Andrew has some involvement. Maybe he knows about a twin. Maybe he's like their cousin. I mean, but again, he's not Jason's twin. That just doesn't make any sense. They are not the same age. Seriously, take a math class. Like, just look at like, you don't even have to look it up. Just think logically. Hey, Jason's out of college. He's an adult. Andrew is a high school senior. Yeah, they can totally be twin brothers, born on the same day. Like, I'm sorry, but that just does not make any sense. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. I'm thinking now that Andrew does have some involvement. If Andrew is A, I will be so done. I'll be done. Like, that would be so freaking stupid. I'm sorry, it would. He's barely been in the show at all. Like, I would just be so mad. Like, this one takes the cake. Yeah, okay, bye. Sorry. So, season 1 Jason is not Jason's twin. Like, seriously. Just stop and think about that for a second. People are saying, oh, Jason was played by a different actor in season 1. That must be the real Jason, and the current Jason is actually Charles. Sweetheart, no. Like, that is just a casting change. If that was actually what happened, the girls would notice that suddenly Jason wasn't Jason. They would notice because they are not identical. They don't look that much alike. The girls would be like, hey, why does Jason suddenly have a totally different face and hair and personality? Like, that was just a casting change. They do it all the time. In the pilot, Toby was played by somebody different. Jessica De Laurentiis had different actress. Hannah's stepsister. All these people were played by different actors at first. It does not mean they have a twin. Like, that's just a casting change. And it would make no sense if they brought back Parker Badgley. Was that his name? I almost said Penn Badgley. That's Gossip Girl. So I think that was the guy's name anyway. Parker Badgley. Whatever. Like, he's not Charles. That would not... Oh, he's not Jason, I mean. Real Jason with current Jason being Charles. Because the girls would be like, hey, Jason's different. So that makes no sense. Sorry. No, that makes no sense. It really doesn't. And now, Marlene and the cast have been hinting that we may know Charles already, though. So Charles could be someone who's a character we've met. But so far, I'm trying to think of someone who's Jason's age, and none of them make sense. So maybe it's not Jason's twin at all. Like, that seems like the obvious assumption. But again, it's an assumption. We don't know for sure. So I'm thinking that's not Jason's twin at all. Somebody else, or I don't know. But like they keep hinting, like, you know, if someone said to Marlene, like, oh, but it's a character I've never met before, and she's like, oh, or have you? And things like that. I know Troyan said it on her Twitter. So they're hinting at that Charles is someone we know. Go ahead and theorize on that. Like, just, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want this to be a character who's important. But, like, right now, I'm stumped. Like, I don't want it to be some random twin who they pulled out of thin air. Like, oh, he's A. I want it to be someone who makes sense and is more important to the bigger picture. And so far, I'm kind of just stumped now. And Holly Marie Combs was tweeting about Ezra, saying, do we know what Ezra's middle name is? Kind of hinting that he could be Charles. And I mean, yes, Ezra is 24, and he does have blue eyes, like the little boy does. However, Ezra and Allie dated. Again, that would be incestuous if Ezra is related to Jason. And I don't think they would go that way. But then again, I mean, maybe they're lying. That's always a possibility. But, like, if Ezra and Allison really did date, then I'm saying no on that. But, I mean, again, we also don't know Ezra's dad. Never met him. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe. But, like, if Ezra and Allison actually dated, then no. If they're lying, then possibly. The boys in that video were not identical. And I think one of them could have very likely been older than the other. And someone asked Marlene about that on Twitter, and she said there are no coincidences in Rosewood. So maybe they're not actually twins. Like I said, I don't really think Jason has a twin. I think that's the obvious assumption, and therefore not the right answer. And, like, you know, really, we don't know anything. I mean, they gave us some information about there were these boys connected to Jessica somehow. At least one of them had a sister. but we have no solid proof that Jason has a twin. We have no solid proof Charles is A. It's just assumptions, really. I mean, am I supposed to suddenly believe, oh, it came to Spencer in a dream, so it must be true? Like, it doesn't prove anything, really. It doesn't. And there's so many questions that, like, if Jason's twin is A, that just, how does he connect to so many things? How does he connect to Bethany's death? How does he connect to Sarah Harvey? How does he connect to Marion Cavanaugh? Was he the fragile patient on the roof? Where do the yellow dresses come into play? There's so many questions that, like I don't know how Jason's twin would connect to these things. I don't really know. Lots of people are saying they think that the twin is a transgender. I mean, maybe that would kind of make sense, I guess, but like, I know people, though, are saying that they think Charles became Bethany, but I think they would notice if the girl they dug up was actually a man. So, like, they would have that on file. They would know. It wouldn't be like a secret. But I mean, I guess theoretically Bethany could actually be, like, Bethany could have become Charles, or that could be like a multiple personality. What do they call it? Dissociative identity disorder. I've been looking into that. I'm thinking about that. Like, if Bethany is, like, physically a woman, but she has a split personality that's Charles. And then maybe in that scenario, Toby would still be her brother. And then the people in the video were Jason, Toby, and Allison. But again, I do not think that boy looked like he was 7. I mean, maybe he is. I want to see if I can find out how old those boys were. I'd like to know. Alright, well, I'm going to think about that whole Bethany possibly being Charles thing some more. Maybe her having a split personality. Gonna think about that, and if I think of something good, I will make a video about it. So, basically this video was questions. And basically me saying that we really don't know anything. Best thing about the finale, though, Mona is freaking alive. I knew it. I knew she wasn't dead. I'm so happy because I freaking love Mona. She's awesome, one of my favorite characters. And the police and some of the parents know now, which I think will be really helpful. I'm kind of wondering when these girls are going to get out of there, because Marlene claims they're going to graduate in the first episode of season 6. Can't really graduate if they're still stuck in A's creepy dollhouse. So they have to get out soon, and then, like I said, after 6A, they're doing the time jump, so they have to move, like, fast, starting from season 6. So, yeah. Alright, so lots of things to think about. I'm gonna think about this Bethany Charles thing. My Q&A video will be up in a couple weeks. After everyone starts going through PLL withdrawal, I'll want to have a new video to post, so look out for that. You can still submit questions, but I'm thinking after this week, I probably want to be done with it. Just so you know, hurry up if you want to send a question. And yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say. So lots of things to think about. Send me your theories. I'd really like to read them, and we can discuss. All right. Thank you guys, and I'll see you soon.